Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Kemal AA and this is another Chelsea transfer news video for you guys, where I'll be keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours. We've got some big news and there is a talking point video regarding Jack Grealish, not in the fact that we're linked to him, but just my personal opinion. But we have been linked to Jerome Boateng and Mauricio Pochettino. Some interesting news and stories to get into in this video. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below on each story that I do speak about. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's transfer news daily. Now, starting off with the big news of this video, and that is in regards to Mauricio Pochettino. Yes, the ex-Spurs man. Of course, we know that with Manchester United, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the pressure heating up there with United looking to pull the trigger. Could Pochettino go to United or City? But Chelsea are now in the running, according to David Ornstein, who does write for the Athletic, a very reliable English publication. Now, according to Ornstein, Pochettino is keeping an eye on the situations at the clubs such as Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain, and yes, Chelsea as well. However, practically in this next breath, he confirms that things are stable at Chelsea right now as they embark on a long-term project of Frank Lampard. Whilst Lampard may have had some stuttering moments in his early career as a Premier League manager, you get a real sense that he's only just getting started at the club. And if Pochettino wants to manage Chelsea, he may be waiting for a very long time. Lampard is growing into his position at Chelsea, and he's being fully backed to succeed by the board. They've given him a number of top-class new signings this summer, and all the tools to success are firmly in place. Things are starting to click at the club. Lampard is starting to get a feel for his strongest 11, and he has a great squad to back that up. He's showing signs of a real identity and style of play at Chelsea this season, and things are on the rise. And look, David Ornstein put it perfectly there when he's just written the article. Things are stable at Chelsea. That's the key point here. Now, if you cast your minds back to 2-3 weeks ago, when things were not doing too well, we lost a couple of games. You never saw an identity. Defensive structure wasn't in place. We were conceding goals. Defensive errors, going forward we weren't scoring. The 3-3 against Southampton, the pressure was really mounting on Frank Lampard, and that's when a lot of fans were saying that is Frank Lampard the right man for the future? Is he the right man for Chelsea? And there was a really big question mark regarding that. Now, a few weeks ago, yes, you would argue Pochettino is in the running. Now, personal opinion, obviously I don't think this is going to happen because of Lampard's recent form, especially the summer that we've backed him. We spent over £200 million on backing Lampard with the signings that we've given him. It's pretty much all his first class signings, and he's been backed to the limit. So for me, I think that the board have a lot of faith and trust in Lampard, and I think that will take a lot to be broken. I'm talking like a string, a set of really bad results, a poor run, no identity, no style of play. But we are starting to see some identity. In the last couple of games, we've kept 5 clean sheets in our previous 7 games in all competitions. Going forward, you see that attacking fluidity, the movement, passing forward, the agility. Players are starting to click together. You're seeing the bonding. You're seeing defensive structure. We're not conceding as much. We haven't conceded from a set piece for a while. The link on the right-hand side of Ziyech and Reece James. You've got Chilwell settling in nicely, Mendy settling in. Thiago has been so pivotal in that back line. Everything is slowly starting to click, and I think that these rumours have come at such a wrong time because, like I said, out of the 3 clubs that he wants to, essentially, manage, PSG, Man United, Chelsea out of the 3 are the least likely because of, that Frank Lampard is stable at Chelsea. We're starting to build something, an empire under Lampard, a new era as such. And I think that the odds of Pochettino managing Chelsea are so slim unless, we had a run of poor results. PSG, things looking a bit shaky with Thomas Tuchel. They've had a really poor start to season in Ligue 1. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's under a lot of pressure, and I think that Pochettino will actually eventually end up with Manchester United because of the pressure mounting there. So I think that Chelsea is not really a likely destination. Now, my thoughts and opinions on him as a manager, I think he's a top-class manager. For me, it's redundant and irrelevant the fact that he's never won anything. Yes, it could be a slight concern, but his actual identity, his style of play, his tactics, his tactical nous, he's a world-class manager. He's proven that at Tottenham with such a limited budget, taking him to the Champions League final, getting top 4 successively. He did a really good job at Southampton as well, and I think that overall he's a top-class manager, full of experience, Premier League experience, can speak English. Essentially, has worked with a limited budget. We'll have a lot more players at Chelsea, better quality players, more finances, more resources at Chelsea. I think that with more resources, Mauricio Pochettino would excel even more. And for me, the trophy thing is irrelevant because remember, Sarri came to Chelsea and he didn't win a single trophy. and he ended up winning a trophy in his first season at Chelsea. So again, it doesn't really concern me. He's a world-class manager, and he would be my first choice if ever something happened with Lampard. But at this current moment in time, I think it's extremely unrealistic. I think that, like I said, as Ornstein's put it perfectly, Frank Lampard's job is stable at Chelsea. But moving on to the next, reports, let's talk about Jerome Boateng. Now, this was essentially reported by Sports Bild. Yes, our old friends at Sports Bild in Germany. It's a German publication written by Christian Falk, who's really essentially involved in the Kai Havertz deal, etc. When we linked him heavily in the summer, we ended up signing him. And they've basically reported that Jerome Boateng won't be offered a new deal by Bayern Munich. Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham are all interested in taking him on a free transfer. Now, again, I don't see this one being too realistic. Don't forget, we just signed Thiago Silva on a free transfer last season, or just the summer that has just gone. We have 5 centre-backs on the books. We're going to have to be offloading centre-backs before we even consider signing centre-backs. And with Thiago Silva having experience, being on relatively high wages, we've already got an experienced centre-back, a world-class centre-back who's been phenomenal for us, one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League so far this season. With Jerome Boateng being extremely injury-prone, mistake-prone, he hasn't been his best for a while. He's completely past his prime. He's going to want high wages. And essentially Bayern Munich don't want him, so why should Chelsea want him? That is the main question. With 5 centre-backs on the books, on the cards at Chelsea, I don't see this being financially realistic. It'd be stupid to spend money on him. And I think if we were to sign a centre-back, we'd have to offload one either loan Tomori, sell Rudiger, and then sign a world-class centre-back, because remember, Thiago Silva is 36 years of age. He will be 37 next year. And with Jerome Boateng being quite old as well, it'd make no sense to sign Jerome Boateng at all. And for me, I think that he's washed. Honestly, I think that he's completely finished. He's well past his prime. His prime days were like 2014 in the World Cup, 2015. I think that he hasn't been at his best for years and years. He's mistake prone and he gets injured a lot, and he's going to command high wages, considering that he is actually a free agent. And Bayern Munich are not offering a new deal, meaning he is no more good enough. He's no longer good enough. So why should Chelsea want him? We are trying to get to levels of Madrid, Barca, Bayern Munich. But if you're taking their rejects, it's not a good look at all. So, like I said, I wouldn't want him personally. I don't think it's financially realistic. It's responsible. I don't see this still happening personally. I think that Arsenal, Tottenham are more likely to sign him than us. And hopefully we do not sign him. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. Now, getting into the final part of this video, I want to talk about Jack Grealish. Now, isn't so the fact that we've been linked with him, because we haven't really been linked with Jack Grealish. But I'm going to be giving my reasons to why I believe Chelsea should be making Jack Grealish a priority to sign next summer. I don't need to mention too much about Jack Grealish because he plays in the same league, Premier League proven, young, 25, entering his prime, experienced, a leader, captain at Aston Villa, by far their best player. Yes, his valuation is going to be high, but what he produces on the pitch is simply world class. English, so he fits the homegrown quota. His dribbling, his technique, his physique, the moving off the ball. He's got a lot of technical ability, which is exactly what we need. He'd provide extra depth for us as well. And I think with Ruben Loftus-Cheek being injury prone and him not working out, with Barkley going to be sold next year as well, I think that with the formation Lampard wants to deploy with a 2 attacking 8, I think Jack Grealish would be simply sensational alongside a Kai Havertz or a Mason Mount in that position. And I think personally, I believe that, like I said, Jack Grealish, he fits Lampard's system Lampard wants to deploy. He's a world-class player. He's English, so he fits the homegrown quota. His technical ability, the depth he's going to provide, and if we want to compete for the big trophies, your Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, I think that you need a world-class player such as Jack Grealish. So far this season, 7 games for Aston Villa, 4 goals and 5 assists. Sublime. Phenomenal statistics, especially for a team like Aston Villa who are in the not relegation zone, but a relegation team. So for me, surrounded by not as good players, not as quality players that he would be surrounded by at Chelsea. So for me, he's doing an amazing job last season, 36 Premier League games, 8 goals, 6 assists, improving year on year out. The output, what he produces on the pitch, he's a world-class player. And I think, yes, I would love him at Chelsea. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.